The Terrorist, directed by Nick Millard. This movie, IMDb says it came out in 1988, but I learned on a review of this movie that it actually came out in 1983. And I know that review is correct because he showed the back of the DVD cover. Now, he also pointed out a lot of things that I didn't notice about this movie. So will be pointing out that stuff too. Hopefully this review will be a lot more fun than my last review. We see Nick Millar's wife being a news reporter with a massive microphone. Isn't that funny? We see the main actor from Alcatraz Breakout, and he's one of the better Nick Millard actors, but that doesn't do much for this film. We see probably the best actor ever to be in a Nick Millard movie, Marlon Proctor, talking to a old lady about an American soldier being shot, and the old lady just says, "Oh my God." It's like they just knocked on a random old lady's door, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm in a movie. Please tell me this scene is dark enough." Yay, wait, do I have the censor stuff? I'm not sure. We get our first shootout scene, and this is edited way too quickly. Shot of a naked man, shot of a suit. Shot of a naked man, shot of a suit. You get the idea. And I do have to give credit that there's like fire coming out of the gun. That's better than most Nick Millar movies, but it's still not a well edited or well filmed shootout scene. We see the doctor from Dr. Bloodbath in front of a chalkboard, and we don't see the audience listening to him. So I just think that this was filmed at a elementary school during Bring Your Dad to Class Day, so he can tell your class what he did for a living. Next, we see him talk to another member of the terrorist team about a bomb and lying that he's saying it to a customer in Africa. I don't know how that would cover up anything. Doesn't make any sense. And the bomb is just like in a paper envelope and it's like plastic. Um, and I think I do like set off the explosion somehow. I don't know. This scene just raises too many questions, and it's really stupid. In a scene where an actress is just reading something that she wrote on a typewriter so she won't have to memorize her lines, we learn that the terrorists are getting blow up stuff in America, and that once you set off the bomb, it just getting blew up in like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Um, then don't set off the bomb. Another person who reviewed this movie, the Longo Archives, also told me about how some scenes were shot in America. And you can tell that some scenes were shot in America because the license plates on the cars are different. I don't know how he noticed that with the grainy film quality, but apparently he has way better eyes than I do. Next, we see an actor who is surprisingly good at doing a Russian accent, and we get an overly long, awkward exposition scene when he talks about how these amateur soldiers try to be soldier masters, but he doesn't know them personally. But I don't know how he knows that much detail about them if he doesn't know them personally. Maybe just don't have him say, I don't know them personally. That would make it less confusing. And it's just a very long scene. And they talk about the soldier's death again. It's just a way long, confusing, boring scene. Also, his name is Gay. I'm not joking. Next, we get over a long scene that's at least better acted because it has Marilyn Proctor, and they talk about executions and how she's an actress. I don't know why she's an actress that never comes back into the film. Next, we see Nick's wife, and she's doing a news report, and she's talking about how the building behind her exploded, but there's nothing wrong with the building. They couldn't film in front of a destroyed building. It's just really stupid. This movie didn't have the budget to show explosions, so you just have somebody talk about it, really. Next, the actor from Alcatraz Breakout talks to this guy with the bleeding lip, and once he holds a gun up to his chin, it just shows more blood on him. And even though the blood wasn't there before, and yeah. He shoots the guy very quickly. I guess we don't want another repetitive shot reverse shot of them shooting each other. I guess I'm glad this scene is fast. Wife plays many characters in this film. She plays different character when there's like a thing on her head, and it's just really obvious. After we get more awkward exposition dialogue about terrorists, he meets with this woman, and this woman, he thinks that she's gonna talk to him more about the soldier that got shot, but she's not. She's actually trying to hit on him during a coffee date, and the way this woman hits on him is so weird because she plans stuff way too far ahead. She's already talking about how great it is to raise a family in Germany, and it's just way too obvious. And I don't think any woman actually acts like this. Next, we get a way dumb scene where he tells a terrorist that he's going to give his name to American intelligence. And of course, the terrorist shoots him like it was really stupid to tell the terrorist that. Blah, blah, blah. I guess they had sex. Next, person from Alcatraz Breakout talks to a soldier, and the soldier forgets his lines. Is a way awkward scene. Next, we get a scene where a woman is literally showing a slideshow of a terrace, like entire layout of the school to a terrace. That's really stupid. Wouldn't that make it easier for a terrorist to like hide in places and like plant bombs? It's just a really stupid slideshow scene that makes it so the terrorists can blow up places easier. Next, we get a scene where the guy from Alcatraz Breakout talks to this guy about meeting him at a place called Burgers and Donuts, and to talk about getting $15,000 so he can give him more information about the terrorists. So they go to the place called Burgers and Donuts, and it's just a bar and not a fast food joint like the name would imply. And it's not like everybody there is really fat. I assume they would be really fat at Burgers and Donuts, but we don't get that. And it's also a strip joint, and there's a really long scene of women stripping, but this scene is after they leave the bar, so it's even more pointless than Alway would be. This scene is just so very long and continuously sexual. Like, she even cuts a hole in her panties. This scene goes on for so long. It goes on for like 6 minutes. And it's completely pointless. Maybe it would be okay if they were like talking during it. But no, it's just a 6 minute long strip scene to pad out the runtime. Turn off that radio. We don't want to hear that terrible drum music. Next, they're gonna do a shootout at a university, and they sit down, and we get a point scene where they eat a traditional German dish. Got to shove some German culture in there somehow, I guess. So we get the shootout scene in the university. The movie ends with a terrorist being shot, and we get a gravestone that confirms this movie was filmed in 1980, but was distributed in 1983. and IMDb is completely wrong. 1988? Come on, IMDb, get your information right. So anyway, the terrorist dies at the end. That's the terrace. I would like to thank the Elena Go archivist for giving me some more information about this film. This was a very long, it was not long, it's like 56 minutes, but it was a very boring, felt long, stupid movie. And it says a bunch of plot points that it doesn't resolve, and it just have a bunch of long drawn out dialogue scenes. The script provides a lot more story than 56 minutes, but they don't resolve anything. So I guess that's why it's 56 minutes. The only thing that resolved is the terrorist being shot. I don't know, it's just a really long, boring, dumb, cheap movie. Do not recommend it. Buy unless you want some classic bad movie fun. Anyway.